Guys, it's Annie back with another video, and in today's video I'm talking all things equipment and equipping yourself as a YouTuber. Definitely when it comes to shopping for your equipment as a YouTube creator or photographer or any other type of creator, nobody is going to be able to watch your video and be able to know what camera you use or what lighting you use or what you edit your videos on. They are, however, going to be able to tell right away if you have really poor lighting or if your audio is really low quality. Basically anything that impacts the viewer's experience when they're watching your videos, which of course is also going to impact whether or not people are watching your videos and for how long. So when it comes to equipping yourself as a YouTuber, whether or not you are shopping on a budget, it's a lot less important what the price tag is and how much money you're spending, and it's really more just about what you can and can't do with your equipment. And I have gotten so many questions about what camera do you use, what do you edit on, what do you use to make your videos. So in today's video, I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a rundown on exactly what I use to make and create my videos. So I guess as good a place as any to begin with is with my camera. So I actually switched out my camera around the very beginning of the pandemic, so a little bit towards the end of 2020, early 2021. For the longest time, I was filming with a DSLR camera and I switched to the Canon M6 Mark II mirrorless camera. There were a whole lot of selling points on this camera, but the main ones were number one, the actual body of the camera. It is super tiny and compact, fits in your hand, so it's really easy to vlog with and travel with, easy to put away in literally just a drawer. It also allows for interchangeable lenses. So for example, I don't really love the kit lens that comes with the camera, but I have an entire collection of lenses that I do prefer to use. So because this camera allows for interchangeable lenses, I can use whatever lens I want on this camera. Also, in terms of shooting video and taking pictures on this camera, usually mirrorless cameras are a whole lot better quality than DSLRs are. I could absolutely tell from the very first video that I shot on this camera versus my videos on my DSLR. These videos are a lot more high quality, and I got so many compliments from you guys from literally the day I began to use it. This camera just really came super highly recommended from a lot of my creator friends. It basically checked every single box I was shopping for, and so this is now my go-to camera, and there is no other camera I would prefer to be using. Then as for the lenses that I use to film my videos, there's really only one lens that I use on a daily basis. I do still have the kit lens that originally came with this camera, and I also have my 30mm, 50mm, and 55mm cameras that I use more for like photography purposes. But as for YouTube videos and shooting Instagram pictures, my go-to is the Sigma 16mm 1.4 wide angle lens. Filming with a wide angle lens definitely allows for a lot more of my surroundings to be in frame when I'm filming, versus if I use my 30mm or my 50mm, then the frame is a lot more cropped and it's a lot more just like me in the frame and nothing else around me. So for that reason, I really do love the whole like wide angle look to my videos. Also, like I said, it is a 16mm lens, which is basically how far away the camera is from you when you're filming. And because 16mm is not far away at all, I can have the camera literally right in front of me when I'm filming, as opposed to when I'm using my 30mm or 50mm, it has to be a lot further away. And if you know absolutely anything about audio when it comes to filming videos, basically the further away from you the camera is when you're filming, the more muffled your audio sounds. So because with the 16mm, I can have my camera a lot closer to me, I can also have my microphone a lot closer to me, and the audio is much better. And then also the final selling point of this lens was the 1.4 aperture, which as you can see is what allows the background behind me to be a little bit more out of focus and blurry. That personally is just a look I've always loved having in my videos for the longest time. So whether I am filming a sit down video or a vlog style video, I love having that blurry background in my videos. So for all of those reasons, this is my go-to lens, the Sigma 16mm 1.4 wide angle lens. Then as for the lighting that I use in my videos, I pretty much trade off between natural lighting and artificial lighting. So in my new apartment, I actually have these super massive windows in both my bedroom and my living room. So on a day like today, when it's not too dark outside, it's actually pretty sunny outside, I can get away with foregoing all of my lighting equipment, and I can just basically set up my camera in front of the window and use natural lighting. But unfortunately, natural lighting cannot always be counted on. Sometimes the weather is not in your favor, which is when I am very grateful to have artificial lighting to to make up for it. So for artificial lighting, my go-to is the newer Studio 18-inch ring light. This is one that I know a lot of YouTubers use. It's also a bestseller on Amazon. It comes with two different sets of orange and white covers for the ring light, so you can basically adjust how warm or cool toned your lighting is. And also one of my favorite parts is the toggle switch on the bottom to decide how bright or low light you want your videos to be. And definitely one other thing I've come to really love about this ring light is that it smooths out your skin like no other. So if ever you're filming on a day that you are like crazy breaking out in acne, I have definitely found that the smoothing feature of the ring light makes almost all of that disappear, versus sometimes I find that natural lighting can be a little bit harsh on your skin. So also in some of those cases, I will automatically reach for my artificial lighting over natural lighting. Then as for audio, possibly one of the most underrated parts of my entire setup and equipment, this is one thing I definitely could not live without, because if I was not using my microphone, you guys would have the most horrendous audio ever. So for my microphone, I use the Rode Video Micro Compact on-camera microphone, which is this super tiny little microphone that actually sits on the top of the camera, so I never have to worry about installing it every time that I film because it just always sits on the camera. The main thing that I absolutely adore about this microphone is that it's really good at isolating your voice and knocking out absolutely everything else, which now that I'm living in a city setting rather than in suburban Montreal, I definitely appreciate, because on any given day I'm surrounded by construction noise and traffic noise and so many other things. So definitely the fact that that microphone is automatically set up to isolate my voice and knock out all of that is a blessing. Also, most of the time if you are filming a video with no microphone, you hear a lot of like noise and static, which as an editor used to drive me nuts, and I got so many complaints on my videos from people watching the video. So now that I have this wonderful microphone, all that noise is gone, no more static, and my audio is a lot higher quality. Also, something I absolutely adore is that the microphone plugs directly into your camera, so that when you are recording a video, the audio goes directly through the microphone and not through the camera, which I can definitely tell you, as somebody who used to have to record audio separately from the video and then sync it up in the editor and edit all the audio, that used to drive me nuts. So now that I have my audio and video in one single track, that makes editing so much easier. So most definitely, if anybody were to ask me what is your #1 most underrated but most crucial piece of equipment, my microphone is definitely it. So now on to the editing portion of what I use to create my videos. I get so many questions from you guys about what do you edit on, what is your go-to editor. So the answer to all those questions is Final Cut Pro. I know a lot of people like to use Premiere Pro or Wondershare or so many other editors, but I am most definitely a Final Cut Pro girl. I don't see myself changing anytime soon. For probably about the first year and a half that I had my YouTube channel, I was always editing on iMovie, which personally I found super restrictive. There weren't that many features you could use. So now that I have the big boy, now that I edit on Final Cut Pro, I am in editor heaven. There are just so many tools and things to play with, from titles to transitions to sound effects. Basically everything that you guys see in my videos, that is all completely done in Final Cut Pro. I will say that I have definitely invested in some plugins for like titles, extra transitions, little pop-ups in my videos. That type of thing I usually get from websites like Pixel Film Studios or F-Movie Effects and stuff like that, which is something else that I absolutely adore about Final Cut Pro, because in a lot of editors you usually only have access to what the actual editor gives you, versus in Final Cut Pro they are 100% plugin friendly. So if you want to purchase any kind of plugins or tools from other websites or resources, you can then import all of that into Final Cut Pro and use things that are more your style. So to answer all of your questions about what do you edit with, the answer is Final Cut Pro. And then finally, the last piece of editing equipment that I want to share with you guys in this video is a super underrated but very helpful adapter. If like me, you guys are using the MacBook Pro that only has USB-C ports on the side, no USB ports, no HDMI ports, none of that, then you would know that sometimes getting all of your footage from your SD card onto your laptop can be a little bit of a struggle. So for that reason, I bought this amazing adapter off of Amazon super affordably. Plug one end into the USB-C port of your laptop, and then on the other side of the adapter there are USB ports. There's a port for your SD card, for HDMI ports, which makes plugging my SD card into my laptop and getting all of my footage onto my editor so much easier. So that is a final piece of equipment that I 11 on 10 recommend. But yeah, you Okay guys, that is it for this video. I think that is all the equipment I could possibly cover. If there is anything else that you think I left out, something you have questions on, feel free to comment down below. I answer all my comments. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it answered all of your questions. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!